The voice of sharing Durian ASEAN.
Hi, you're with Gowri this Tuesday morning. We're on our Blast from the Grassroots session today. And with me, I have Yasmin, who is a Penang-based writer. So how are you, Yasmin?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Do you want to say hello to our listeners at Durian ASEAN?
Hi, guys, at Durian ASEAN.
Okay. So, Yasmin, you're a writer, right? So
Yes,
can you
I
tell
am.
us how you got started on this?
Okay. Well, professionally, I am a writer. I write for magazines and special publications here in Penang.
Okay.
And well, professionally, it started. It started about 3 years ago. Right. I've always been copywriting on the side, and I actually started off when I was in college by writing poetry.
Okay.
And I used to do poetry readings on campus whenever we got together and all that. And then when I came back to Malaysia and I worked, then I came into, magazine writing. And then it was in 2012. I do not know if you've heard of the Short and Sweet Festival. They started it off in Penang in 2012. And it just so happened that the assistant festival director was like, "Hey, Yasmin, write a script." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try." And I believe I only had 1 week till the deadline. And I'd never written a play script before.
Okay.
And so I just went and Googled how to do it. And I saw the format, how it was. And I wrote my script and I submitted it in. And somehow it got shortlisted. And that was how I started in theatre.
All right. Yeah. So is that all you do? You write for theatre, or do you write for any other media?
Okay, I am still writing for the magazine, and I've still continued writing poetry, and playwriting is just something that, like I said, I started in 2012. It's something very new for me.
Okay.
And I just want to see where I can go with it.
Okay.
Because I find it very interesting. I love theatre myself as an audience because I can't perform for the life of me.
Right.
And so playwriting is good, and it gets me to express myself. And also it's a good medium for the stories that I have to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all these poetries you've written, have you gotten anything published before?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Have them published. But once again, a friend of mine and we are working at a poetry book at the moment, where he will be writing his poems in Hokkien and I'll be translating them into English.
Okay.
And my English poems, he'll be translating them into Hokkien. And we hope to publish the book, hopefully by the end of this year.
Okay.
Yes.
So I understand that you also won the best story in Short and Sweet. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. That was like I said, it was the very first play that I had ever written.
Okay.
And it was a bilingual script. It's in Hindi and English, and it was a story of migrant workers.
Oh, okay.
Again, like how they were basically trafficked into Malaysia, and it's a phenomenon that happens, and it's very real. And that was the play that I wrote, and somehow I guess people liked it, and I won the best script that year.
Okay. What inspired you to write that story, though?
The story. Well, it is based on a real encounter that my parents had with someone, a person who was brought into Malaysia through illegal means.
Okay.
And he was promised a really good job by the agents over there, and then came here and he ended up bagging groceries at in a local supermarket in the middle of, Bukit Mertajam. It was a really sad story, and and since my mom is from India and I was born there, so there's quite a tie to, let's say, the motherland. And and it's something that happens, and most of us do not know when we go to let's say the mama store or the cafes. We don't really know who these migrant workers are, what are their stories, how they got here. So basically that was the inspiration behind it.
So have you participated in Short and Sweet after that?
Yes, I did last year.
Okay.
Even in 2012, I directed a play as well. And last year was the same. I wrote a script, and I directed another play.
Okay.
Yeah. And Short and Sweet is coming up again.
Yeah. So are you participating this year, maybe?
I still have some scripts that I would submit in, and if they get shortlisted and get picked up by directors, and I guess that would be the extent of my involvement this year.
Okay. So besides writing, do you have any other job, or are you a full-time writer?
I am a full-time writer.
Okay.
I get paid to do this.
Okay.
Not the plays and the poetry, but writing articles.
All right. So, what do you think are the challenges that you face being a full-time writer and not having any other job?
Okay. Well, because I'm attached to a publishing house,
okay,
I do not face that much of struggles in terms of there's a lot of like freelancers, which I have done. I've done freelancing in the past, and and one of the big besides not being able to get gigs at times, regular gigs. Okay. It will be sometimes your clients end up not paying you for the job that you've done. Okay, so being attached to a publishing house takes away the stability worries, I guess, and the monetary worries, because you have that secure job. But at the same time, when you tell people, when people ask, what do you do for a living? I say, I write. And then they're like, huh? You can do such a thing?
Right.
Because they don't, for them, writers, journalists or reporters, but they don't see, magazine writers as being a legitimate
so
profession, I would say.
Do you try to explain to them that you can actually make a living out of writing, that it's possible to be a writer?
No, I don't, because these people are normally, if those who do not know, they're not aware of it, and I don't think even telling it would make a difference.
Okay.
But once again, it also depends on which circles are you talking to, or people that you encounter. Some find it very fascinating.
So do you know at maybe what point of life did you decide that writing is your first love and this is what you want to do?
Okay. I would say even when when you're in school, and we used to have this borang where they ask you to put in your top 3 ambitions.
Yes, that's right.
It was this green color borang, and you had to put in all your health stats and whatnot. And my first one, my mom says that I was influenced by ER, that TV show.
Okay.
So according to her lah. Okay, so number 1 would always be a doctor, and then number 2 would be a film director, and number 3 was write for National Geographic.
Wow, okay.
So I did not achieve any of the 3, but I am writing.
Well, you're still in the path. You're not too far off, actually.
I guess so, but I don't think I could survive out there in the wild, though. I'm a creature of comfort.
So I understand you're working on a play right now called Lentera Seni, which is being directed by Christopher Ling, who is quite an accomplished director, I would say.
Yes.
So
it's a dream come true for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he, I say this to everyone that I meet. He's my favorite director.
Okay.
That was how it started off. Watching his plays got me inspired.
Okay.
And made me believe that, hey, you can actually create art that is substantial and that is good,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to go out of Malaysia to get quality productions. You know, you can
Okay.
even see. Yeah, not to say the other directors are not. It's just like Collins. Plays, I would say, are more towards my taste or the sensibilities. We share sort of similar, I would say, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So we started off as friends. And, you know, when he would come up to Penang and we would meet after his plays and talk. And he happened to, I sent him my scripts last year
Okay.
for short, because I was looking for people to direct my plays. And, well, he could not find anyone. But after reading them, he went, hey, why don't you write for me? And I was like, I thought you never ask.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that was how the whole thing transpired.
Mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
tried to work on a couple of projects before, and then this one just came in because we were actually supposed to be doing another play in May, but this Lentera Seni project came up because it's for the Festival Belia Putrajaya, and it's Kaki Seni is doing this whole theatre thing, and Christopher Ling's theatre company, Theatre 360, got, you know, the chance to showcase as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he approached me and he was like, okay, I have this scenario. I want you to write 4 short scripts for 4 characters, and yeah, so that's that.
Okay.
We're doing this.
So what is Lentera Seni all about? If you can just tell us a little bit about the play.
Okay, so Lentera Seni is a story concept by Alex Chua, and he's also with Theatre 360.
Right.
And basically the story is this: on May 5th, 2011, at exactly 8:47 p.m., Kuala Lumpur experiences a citywide blackout.
Oh.
Okay, and it lasts for 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 12 seconds. Okay, so in the inner city, there's this flats. Okay, this whole blocks of flats. And the occupants, the residents, come out in the blackout, and they congregate around there just to and you know, because it's a citywide blackout, and probably they got to see the stars for the first time in the city. Yeah, so and it's these characters are recollecting their experience during the blackout.
Okay.
What happened to them? How did it change their lives? Did it not change their lives? Yeah, so so that is the basic premise, and then so each character has a different story to say.
All right. So when is Lentera Seni showing? Is it showing in Penang? Is it showing in KL?
Okay, it's showing at Putrajaya.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's at the Complex Perbadanan Putrajaya in Precinct 3. Okay, and it's, the festival is from May 23rd to May 25.
Okay.
Okay, and so Lentera Seni will be showing on all 3 days. It has 3 shows, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., then 7 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
So there are 9 runs, yep.
Okay, so will you be there in Putrajaya or no?
I'm really hoping that I'll be able to make it because I have exams just few days after that. So I'm really hoping to be able to watch because, I mean, they have a quite strong cast of actors as well, which will be very interesting to watch. And, you know, this will be my debut in KL as well.
Speaking of actors, who are actually starring in the play?
Okay, there is Adeline Ong, and then Kamini Sintila Balan, Nabila Zakaria, Nurbaya Hassan, Ruben Cheo, Sandy Chew, and Shash. And of all of them, I've seen Sandy Chew in The Merry Wives of Windsor before, when they came up to Penang. So, and she's a really good actress as well. So, I don't know if she'll be acting one of my scripts. But, that would be interesting to see.
So this really is a dream come true for you, huh?
It is. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a new playwright, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any future projects that you're working on?
Future projects, I'm also working on, hopefully it will be my first full-length play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on the script. And so once that is done, then I will see what else I can do with it. Yeah.
So I was actually going to ask you this earlier, but it slipped my mind. How did
Okay.
your parents react when you said you are going to be a writer? Because I think most Indian parents want their kids to be a doctor or a lawyer or something on that line.
Yeah, well, I'm sure my parents knew ever since I was a little kid, I'm not going to be like everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had never restricted me in terms of what I should do. Even pursuing my passions, like even when I was in school, in secondary school, I was very much involved with activities like debates and choral speaking, and things like that. And I always decided what I wanted to do, and I would let them know, and they'd be like, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice, anything you want to say to the younger generation, the budding writers of the time, anyone who's trying to break into the writing industry?
The writing industry. Well, first of all, I would say it's very important for you to know your audience.
Okay.
Yeah, you do not. Sometimes we write for our own ego. To we write a piece and we look at it and we're like, yeah, okay, this is so me. This is exactly what I want to say. But at the same time, if you're going to try to even make a living out of it, like say for a magazine, it's very important for you to know your audience well, and how do you translate your thoughts and your ideas in the proper language so that it not only hits, the people don't just read it or enjoy it, but they also understand what are you trying to convey. Okay, and the same would imply, well, when it comes to poetry or playwriting, I say you have a lot more artistic leeway, to be creative. But do not be so caught up, I would say. It's kind of an experiment that I'm also doing right now. I'm trying to see, well, you do have a message too. You have to make sure that the story that you're telling, it conveys something. It has a story. The story is important, but it's also interesting to see how you can tell that one story. Because there are many ways to tell a story. And just what you can do is always try to find a different approach. If you think a story should be told from this angle, maybe you can stretch your creativity to see how could I tell it another way that might be a lot more enjoyable, that might bring more value or add value to my piece. So be experimental, be bold.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to try.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't just stick to one style, or don't just say this is me, this is all I'm gonna write.
Exactly. And the internet is there. It's your widest tool of resource. And read as much as you can. Do not stick to what you're comfortable with. Yes, it's good to what do you say? To perhaps perfect what you're doing, but at the same time, do not get stuck in that.
Okay.
Because there's so much to explore.
All right. So, any plans to write for movies or break into Hollywood or something?
No, I don't have those grand ambitions.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing this because it's fun for me. I'm enjoying it. Anytime I start finding it tedious, I probably would not. Because playwriting, poetry is a form for me to express myself, my creativity, is for me to experiment. And the moment I start feeling confined or restricted, then I would definitely find something new, so another way to express myself.
Okay. So I think that's all the time that we have for today for our session. Thank you
Okay.
very much, Yasmin, for joining us and sharing your insights about the writing thing that you're doing.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
well,
Thank you.
all right, so I hope your show Lentera Seni becomes a huge success.
Yes, and do come. Don't forget to come and
Oh,
watch your
okay.
show.
Yeah, I'll make sure to watch it. So good luck in
Yeah.
all your future undertakings. It was nice talking to you.
Same here. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye.